Working on problem 7-11, we are taking a look at this equation here and trying to graph it, sketch the graph, figure out what kind of graph it is. The first thing to realize in this problem is that we have both an x squared and a y squared. That's going to tell us we're going to have a circle. So, what I need to do with this one is group my x values together. They are grouped right here. I'm going to complete the square with that. I'm going to complete the square then with my y values. And then any other numbers that are left are going to move to the other side. So, my x values are already grouped together. So I have an x squared minus 2x. And with that, I'm going to complete the square. So what I do is I take this value right here and divide it by 2 and square that. So when I take negative 2 and divide it by 2, I get negative 1. And when I square negative 1, I get positive 1. So what I can do now is make this into a square. So it's going to be an x squared minus 2x plus 1. That now is a perfect square. My y value is already squared, so plus y squared minus 29 equals 0. Now, with this problem, I'm going to get rid of some of this over here. With this problem, I have just added 1 to this problem. This 1 right here has been added. So in order to compensate for that and make things balanced, I need to then subtract 1 away from the left side of the equal symbol as well. So now I've added 1 here, and I've now subtracted away here. It is now balanced. So I have an x minus 1 square plus y squared minus 30 equals 0. So now the last thing I need to do is move the 30 to the other side, and I get the equation x minus 1 quantity squared plus y squared equals 30. That is now in graphing form. It is a circle. The center of the circle is at positive 1, 0. The radius of the circle is the square root of 30. So now I can graph that, and I can label some points here. So if I take a look now on a graph, x minus 1 quantity squared plus y squared equals 30. Again, my center point is at 1, 0. And my radius then is the square root of 30. And that equals approximately 5.477. So, if I gave some rough estimations here, it's going to be somewhere over here, and somewhere over here, and somewhere over here, somewhere over here. My circle does not look the best there, but it'd be roughly around there. Now, with this, I can label my x-intercepts. This x-intercept right here is going to be 1 plus the square root of 30. And this x-intercept here is going to be 1 minus the square root of 30. So I've now figured out my x-intercepts. They are 1 plus or minus the square root of 30. My y-intercept, I need to do Pythagorean theorem to figure this out. I know that this distance here is the square root of 30. This I don't know, but that is 1 unit. So I need to solve for that. So doing Pythagorean theorem, I can go ahead and solve that, and I actually get that distance to be the square root of 29. So my y-intercept is the square root of 29 here, and the negative square root of 29 here. So some important points to look at would be the x-intercepts, 1 plus or minus the square root of 30, and my y-intercepts. which would be plus or minus the square root of 29.